I feel like it's a little tilted, but it's gonna have to do. There's your mic. Yeah, I'm worried about all that being so bunched up.
Hello.
Because that's all plugged in so far away. I should silence that because they're chatting. All right, welcome to Best There Is podcast. We haven't been here since, I believe, February.
Has it?
I think it's February, March, April, May, June.
Maybe longer. I don't know.
No, yeah. we at least came in the new year. It sucks because I wish we were able to do it more, but your time, my time. I don't got stuff to do. What am I talking about? I could do this all day, as Cap would say. But we do have things to talk about. We're going to go over Cap, New World, Brave New World. We'll go over Thunderbolts. We're going to go over Sinners. And
Do you watch Sinners?
No, but I don't watch horror. So
We'll get to it.
you can give me your points on it, and maybe you're going to get me to watch it. I do like Kate Bishop as an actress, and not too bad on the eyes. I know she spits in his mouth, which is kind of weird. That's very porno-esque. She, while she's on top of him, I saw the scene. People were all sharing it, either grossed out or oh, this is hot. I don't know. She spits in his mouth.
Reveals when she's a vampire.
No, she's on top of him. Looks like they're about to have sex. I don't know. Anyways, so much going on. I guess first of all, Fantastic Four is about to come out, so we'll talk about that next time. The full movie, we'll watch it, and then we'll watch the rest of Riri, Ironheart, and we'll talk about that. Hopefully,
Is Superman out before Fantastic Four?
I don't-
so.
is it?
I don't.
Because
We're the same 2 weeks before. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I know if you have Amazon Prime, you get
tickets early.
Tickets early, yeah. On the 8th. Pretty sure.
I think it's the 11th for Fantastic Four. I don't know. But you're
which
right.
Are you more excited for?
Superman. And that's what, real quick, I'll get into Fantastic Four. First of all, did you see the part where Thing has a beard?
Oh, when Johnny's holding him?
Yeah,
in the
first
air.
of all...
It looked like a weird angle, or I don't... Is it a beard?
Yeah, it's a beard. You could tell, how it's structured, which I don't get how Thing grows a beard. That means he would always have to shave. If it's not a beard, I have no idea what it is.
Maybe he has to, clobber it up.
I hate his voice. I was watching the old one
It didn't feel like it fit in the first few trailers, but the new one, he seemed...
That's not me. That's not my... That's only the cartoons. It's just... Even a little... He's from Yancey Street. Even a little bit of an accent would be good. I don't know. Johnny, I'm worried about. It's... Chris Evans did such a good job being Johnny Storm. I want that vibe. And I put it on last night when I was going to bed. It's not the greatest movie, of course, but it's enjoyable. You could watch it.
It seems like he could pull off a R&B rap song.
Who?
Johnny.
What?
the old Fantastic Four
Oh
cartoon.
yeah, where he's
he
like,
busts out in the Songs of the Girl.
yeah, Google that, people, if you do watch this, where Johnny raps on the old cartoon. But how's Johnny carrying thing in the air?
I would assume he has some strength from.
No, thing weighs like 2 tons. People are all like asking about that, or like,
Maybe he's moving so fast into the air that
I don't know. I'm hoping like
maybe they're falling down and not.
True,
up.
that would make more sense. Or like they're holding on to the board, maybe.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because there is a scene they're thinking it's like Spider-Man No Way From Home, where they cut out the Spider-Mans, and
Who would they cut out?
well, there's a scene where they all like stop and look up, and there's a huge gap, and people think it's Silver Surfer there.
Right, like Nora and Ryan.
No,
Her.
the girl, whatever her name is, like looking up at Galactus, which I don't think that's a spoiler, but people think they feel like they're giving away that she's gonna help them, which we all know is gonna happen. She's gonna help them. There's no way she's gonna be a villain the whole time. From what I read,
I kind of figure that they're going to fail.
from what I read, people that supposedly saw it were like, I don't think no one saw it, to be honest with you, but people were like, she dies, but then Franklin brings her back, and I think that's stupid as hell if that does happen. Number one, Surfer died already in the other movie.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He dies and he sacrifices himself for Sue, and I forgot how they bring him back. Like maybe Sue's tears fall on him and bring him back.
I don't remember. I just remember Doom gets the board and he like.
Which is a really cool concept. Was Doom getting the board, Johnny absorbing all their powers and basically being Super Skrull. Like it had potential. It just is goofy. I still am mad that John Krasinski's not Mr. Fantastic. He did a really good job, I felt like, in Illuminati or the Doctor Strange multiverse.
Did he? He turned to spaghetti.
Yeah, Mom Spaghetti, but I don't. Pedro Pascal, I like him, but he's in everything, and he's not Reed Richards. Reed Richards is like Charlie Day. Like, he's talks real fast. Charlie Day talks real fast and, like, doesn't make sense because he's dumb. But if you listen to him, it's really fast and he keeps going and da 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 because his brain's going so much. So with Mr. Fantastic, I wanted someone to be cast that is too smart and too quick, even for themselves. And Pedro Pascal doesn't do it for me. And I hate that he can't grow a beard. He always has patchy beards. And Doctor Strange, or Mr. Fantastic, has a beard or is clean shaved.
He had a beard in one run.
He's had a beard a couple times, I feel.
I think it's just in the Hickman run.
And his little, like, mustache is just a little too much for me.
Well, they're going for, like, 50s.
I don't get why. I don't understand all that.
It's like an alternate future where.
But why are they, like, in the 50s, even though it's all future? I don't.
Because they weren't stunted by.
Wouldn't it be like the
technology.
Fifth Element looking like, or Ready Player One? Not Ready.
Well, I
Player
mean, we
One.
should be able to fly in cars right now, but we still have.
I hate the Fantastic Car.
Yeah.
Superman has me more excited. I'm not even like the biggest Superman fan, but I like James Gunn. The previews have looked good so far. I think the guy that plays Superman is pretty good. He's not big as Henry Cavill, Buffwise, Snyder people. I'm on Reddit.
And he looks just like Henry Cavill.
Snyder people, like, they'll ban you in the page if you say anything negative about the Snyderverse. Because they want to rally and be like, no, this is bad. For me, it's not bad. I think it looks good. Um, he gets his ass kicked, which isn't bad, by Ultraman, I believe, which makes sense. They need to have that. And he's vulnerable. I think what made me like and want to see it is the interview between him and Lois, that scene they showed where they're like arguing and stuff about him stopping the war. And
There's a new scene I saw earlier today where
is it with him with the dog?
yeah, he's yelling at Lex.
Yeah, I don't get it. And I don't even know what Lex says when he drinks out of the mug. He says something underneath his breath. And he's like, "What'd you say?" But people were talking about it in the comments, like, if John Wick goes crazy over a dog, they're like, imagine a Superman. And the best part about it is no one found it corny. Everybody found it to be legit. Like, yeah, I'd be pissed if someone took my dog. But it's Crypto. So, not like Crypto's really involved in it, at least as far as the trailer goes.
It's James Gunn, so he has to involve some type of animal.
I don't like him casting his brother as Maxwell Lord.
I don't care about him.
All I see is what's his name, Kragan.
I see
the guy from Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, I can't remember his name though.
Roar? Not Roar.
Roar is some
That's the girl.
characters.
I don't watch
It's
this
Kurt.
show. But yeah, so I liked more than I expected Captain America: Brave New World. I sat and watched it with Logan and Crystal, and I was surprised Logan, him being 12, so he's a little bit more older to pay attention. I thought he was going to drift off and not get on his phone and all that, but he stayed there. I think they did the best they could. The idea of the brainwashing and stuff was all cool. But like most Marvel movies, they fucked up with the leader. Like, the leader should have been way more of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been used more. They didn't even need to use him. They could have had just a random villain, like Senator. The fact that they used, what's his name?
I think all the
What's the black?
the designs just all look bad. Like,
What was the black dude's name?
he's one of the
Sidewinder.
Yeah,
He was
he's
wasted.
just a guy in armor.
He was wasted. Like, he's such a good actor, and he's like, I remember when they announced it, like at a con, he's like, "I'm playing the famous Sidewinder." I'm like, "Do you read comics?" Like,
So he was also saying that he was getting his own Disney Plus series, and like
it's crazy
they cut all the Serpent Society.
Yeah, it's crazy because Seth Rollins was one of them, the wrestler, and I was like, when would they use him? When
they cut Diamondback, they cut. That's the girl with the pink hair that throws diamonds.
Oh, yeah, they had that in the Happy Meal, and
I forgot there was a toy of her.
Yeah. And I don't think they need a Red Hulk. The story could have been told without Red Hulk. They could have used something else.
I think they were, with world events, they were hoping it would line up and like.
Well, the president got shot during the trailer when it came out, so they had to like quit showing that trailer where Ezekiel. First of all, Sam needs the fucking serum. I'm sorry, Sam is like Batman, but not Batman. Like, he's not that good, and he should be getting his ass whooped. He does have vibranium armor and all that, which is cool. I like he absorbs it. They did some cool things with the wings and all that, but there's no way he can, like, he can have his Falcon as Bucky and all that, but he never does in the comic, right? Either, right?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either. I never really followed Cap Falcon. I hate to say it, I don't like it. I thought Bucky was always better, but Bucky was like slinging guns, and people didn't like that. But Captain America slinging guns in the beginning of his run when he was Captain America. I mean, if you watch even the movies, he was a soldier. But I think what hurt it was the forcing of Red Hulk in it, and it didn't come until the end.
Yeah.
And they used that to make people come and see it. and people were like, "Where's the action?" I think the thriller was decent. I think the plot was kind of cool.
I think if they could have somehow not leaked Harrison Ford
or not use them in the trailer a million times
and not showed Hulk, maybe show Leader or show more Sidewinder or something.
But see, they're worried about getting people in the theaters. They needed Red Hulk to get people in the theaters. But they did have scenes in the first teasers where you just saw his foot and like just saw the back of him or something.
Maybe it could have been like a shadow where you can't see that it's red.
Well,
or make it green. No, you can't do that. It would make people mad.
It was just anticlimactic. The fight where it turned into
to me, it just felt like a redo of Winter Soldier.
A little bit because it was, but see, that's what I wish Bucky was in it more, or Winter Soldier was in it more, because I think it would help with brainwashing.
He was running for senator. Does that come into play?
Yeah, in Thunderbolts it does.
Or does he quit because
no? So they're all okay. We'll finish with Red Hulk. I just didn't like it turning into the sun's getting low type of thing to get him to calm down. It was smart the way the leader was doing it. I like that, where he was injecting him.
I was hoping he would say that. That'd be funny, but it never
happened. Who did that already? Deadpool did that to Juggernaut, so I don't know. That would fit more.
It also felt like a repeat of the What If episode of the last season, the first one with the mechs. Because he has to talk down the Hulk.
Yeah.
So it's like that story.
And it's just Harrison Ford wasn't it for me for Red Hulk. They needed a different actor. They could have got the original Thunderbolt from the first movie, Edward Norton movie. Sam Elliott. They could have got Sam Elliott, who I love as an actor. I love Tombstone. They could have got him, and who cares about having a mustache and not having it? Red Hulk, it goes away, it comes back. People would probably bitch about it that never seen the movie. Problem is, this is the problem with Thunderbolts. Marvel is throwing out movies now without Cap, without Iron Man, without Thor, without Spider-Man. So only comic book fans are going to movies now. And they're toxic. Comic book fans are toxic just like any other fandom. But the general public also isn't seeing these movies. That's why the numbers are down for a lot of these.
But these were all B-list characters.
That's what I'm saying.
15 years ago, 20 years ago.
That's what I'm saying, though. And it's like, if you told me, do you want to watch a Falcon movie? I'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't care for that, really. A Cap Falcon movie. I don't know, but with Thunderbolts, so it essentially, I was reading about it, it flopped.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it didn't. I feel like it still made money, but I guess they're saying with advertisement, blah, blah, blah. People really liked it. It's in the beginning, my son playing soccer rivals or some dumb game, yelling in the background. It starts very diehard, but because they're all stuck in a building, and it's
also having Ruth kind of killed a lot of the movie too.
Ruth,
she was Sabra.
Oh yeah, I was like, who are you?
And then
I had to look her up.
They changed her to Ruth because she's Captain Islam.
They changed her?
Yeah.
So she wasn't Sabra?
No. Well, she was Sabra, but they changed her to Ruth into a Black Widow.
When I Googled her, it says Sabra.
because that's what she was originally casted as. But the actress herself is a Zionist, and with all the war happening with Islam, and
They didn't want her.
well, people are trying to cancel the movie.
There's a lot you could say and cancel because there's a lot of "Let's Make America Great Again" stuff in there. But anyways, I don't I don't know. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. Like it's watchable. It was better than I expected because how people pushed it down. So I actually enjoyed it. Now Thunderbolts, everybody like loved.
How do you feel about the most important part of the movie, though?
What's that?
That it introduced adamantium.
You
don't even remember it.
They glossed over it really fast.
You saw Tiamat again,
but they glossed.
You haven't even seen Eternals.
Eternals. I don't know if I'll ever watch Eternals. But yeah, they glossed over it, and I thought Thunderbolts was about them. It was going to be about them trying to get it or something. But anyways, like I said, it's about like a 6 out of 10 for me. But Thunderbolts, everybody was like, it's really, really good. So I had high expectations for it. Like I said, spoilers. They're all set up besides Red Guardian and Bucky, but they're all set up to kill each other. Valentina, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Valentina was gonna just burn them. It was a place that was gonna bomb, and it's like an incinerator.
Is it a place in Avengers Tower?
No, it's like some compound she has. And Taskmaster dies off the bat. She sighed. What was the guy's name in Suicide Squad that dies right away? Slipknot?
Slipknot, yeah.
Happens right away. Bullet right in the middle of the head. And they showed her face. The suit is sick. I like the suit.
Yeah, I liked her new updated suit.
It looked
just like the comic.
It looked like the Ultimate one.
It's like sporty kind of.
But it opens for a second and you see it is the old actors. But I hate that they didn't do Tony Masters as Taskmaster.
Wouldn't they change her name to?
I don't know. I don't care.
Anton.
I don't know. But basically, they find out Ghost can't get out, and they realize that they're gonna all die because there's like a countdown. And out of nowhere, Bob just shows up, and he was like he's concealed like in a box. So they're just like, I'm just Bob. I'm just Bob the whole time, and it's pretty annoying. They're like, Bob, like, what are you like? Why are you here? And you see a container where it's like, it looks like he was sealed in it. He doesn't know why he's there. Last thing he remembers was being like injected like with stuff and at like a hospital type place. And then he woke up. He's like, I don't remember much. But then they figure out a way to turn it off so Ghost can go through the wall. She opens it up. Then they can't get out. So they all do the Cusco Pancha back to back to walk up a tunnel because Walker tries to jump high to go through the tunnel and he just falls back and lands down. And they're like, yeah. And they're all assholes to each other, which is really good. I like that. But so they all go back to back and walk up, and there's 4 of them because it's Bob, the new Black Widow, Ghost. Maybe it's just them.
She's not Black Widow. She's White Widow. Yelena.
Whatever. Maybe it's just them. Yeah, it's just them 4. So, they all go up and get out, but as they're getting out, they run into Red Guardian, because she visits him, which is in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
He runs a limo service now, so He drives, but he finds out he's driving, I think Valentina, and he finds out through that what they're gonna do. And Mockingbird is her assistant, but
Mockingbird?
Songbird.
Do they ever?
They never reference and they never give her the name. No powers, but that was supposedly her real name. I don't know. I love that actress. She's everything I've seen her in. She's good in. There's a movie called 7 Days about her trying to get like Indians. What would you say?
Native American?
Not Native American. She's Indian. Middle Eastern, like how they try to arrange marriages. The movie's about like they keep trying to do that with her, but it starts off with her like just bullshitting the date, and it's like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to work out. And she gets to live in this house for free because her mom pays for it. She eats chicken, drinks beer, all these things that she's not supposed to do. But the guy is the guy from Mohinder, Deadpool guy.
Mm.
He gets stuck with her because they were just on a date and he couldn't get a car rental, he couldn't get a hotel. Then COVID breaks out, so they have to live together, and it's just all in shot in one house for the whole thing. It's a really good movie. She's really good in it. But anyways, it's called 7 Days because that's how long I believe they're stuck together. But anyways, she's cool in it, and Bucky talks to her, and they're trying to impeach Valentina, and they're having issues with doing so. And Bucky, Winter Soldier, gives his card to Songbird, and it's like, if you need to talk, and she's just like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get info, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, the team breaks out. Red Guardian is driving them. Just like in the trailer, Winter Soldier comes, stops them. He arrests them all because he thinks that, they're just fugitives. But then he finds out from the phone call, Songbird's like, yeah, there's this dude, Bob. And they found and Yelena steals some papers, and it shows different designs of the suit, which is cool because it's like the comic, different hair designs, and it shows different S's. And it's weird because they don't mention that it's from, like, I can't remember in the comic if it's a super soldier serum. Because I don't think it is. I think it's something else because he's way too powerful. But basically, she calls him and is like, yeah, they have this guy, Bob. And while they're all tied up, they're like, Bob, it's Bob. Like, something's going on with him. Because he stays behind when they all leave. And she's like, yeah, like, she's like, Valentina's like too much, like losing it over the hype of this Bob guy. And she's pushing Bob to like use powers, and he's blowing up glasses of water, and he's like all shocked that he could do it. And then for me, it just bugs me because it's like, this isn't really how Sentry acts. And Sentry, I don't know, it just was weird, and
people seem to like him.
I was wondering
he seemed like a breakout character from what I've seen online.
But that's what, for me, I got him right there. People,
like, he has his own omnibus coming out.
That would be cool. I'll pick that up. God, and the Age of Venom's omnibus is coming out too
next month.
But for me, Sentry fears being Sentry, but it's hard because there is the stories of the old stuff when he hung out with Fantastic Four and Hulk, but then you find out that never happened.
Well, it did happen.
Or he got erased.
He changed reality.
Well, like Mastermind from like the X-Men comics did something where no one remembered that happened. I don't know. But the best story is the New Avengers story when he first comes, and it's like the one where it ends on the lawn, and it's like everybody out there to stop him to talk to him. But yeah, so they basically end up Bucky's like, we gotta stop this guy or whatever. And Red Guardian's funny. He's always like, yes, you know. And they call themselves Thunderbolts because
The soccer team.
the soccer team. And I honestly think the Red Hulk should have been introduced in here, and this team should have been a team that Thunderbolt Ross was putting together to hunt down Hulk or something, and called them the Thunderbolts. Because it would have been cool to have the final battle of Red Hulk against Sentry. Because it all goes to the end where Sentry
In the void.
beats the shit out of the whole team, which is it's a really cool scene. But people are like, how's this team going to beat? And again, I don't like the team really at all. They're just boring to me. But it is kind of true that there's 3 super soldiers on that team. And people are always like, look at them like trying to hold up a rock. Like Captain America could pull a helicopter, which for me doesn't make sense. That do they get different? I mean, Red Guardian asks Bucky, what kind of serum did you get? And he's like, Hydrokine. And he's like, oh, I got Russian, da 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 da, you know. So I don't know if they vary or whatever, but you got 3 super soldiers on the team, but they get one. I mean, he turns it. Walker's like, he turned my shield into a taco. He catches the shield and he like just bends it, and I think it's vibranium. Walker's was vibranium, to my knowledge. But there's a great scene where he just fights him real quick. And Valentina's like, see, you know, they all leave. They all bounce out in the elevator. And she's like, go kill them. He's like, there's no point in killing them. And then he starts getting like in his head, like, you told me I'm a god. He's like, I'm a god now, blah, blah, blah. So he kind of starts getting taken over. And then I forgot what pushes him to the void. But it's not the void in the comic. In the comic, the void is like this other personality in him that's constantly trying to. It's the result of having all this power, which made him a cooler Superman. Was there's this villain in him that wants to come out, and he's fighting it all the time, and he does talk to himself a few times in it. But with this, he just kind of turns into black smoke and has glowing white eyes. And he just throws people into the shadows and they face their worst fears. And through the movie, when he touches people, he like puts Walker into like his worst fear, or what happened with him.
That's Dagger's power.
It's weird. Like, I didn't like it. Like, Walker, like, was a horrible husband, so he goes in through that, and he wakes up, and like Crystal said, why didn't he tell anybody that just happened? Like, because this is when Bob is just chilling with him and just grabs his hand to like get pulled up. But so they do the whole. This is the climactic ending, is him turning the whole city dark or whatever, hitting people, and Yelena walks into it, and what they should have done is put Scarlett Johansson in a cameo when she gets put into her.
She has to have herself removed from the credits of the movie.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, they should have put it in the trailer so people were like, why is Scarlett Johansson in it? I need to see this movie. Because that's a huge problem with this movie, is what regular person, grandma and grandpa, are going to go see Thunderbolts when it has Bucky's the strongest character to pull people in? No one wants to see John Walker. No one wants to see Yelena.
Yelena's pretty popular.
Within fans, not outside of that group. That's why that movie failed, was there's no Iron Man. That's why Ironheart's going to fail. Ironheart's going to fail because
of racism.
Is Ironheart white?
What?
Someone, did you read? Josh posted on Inner Sanctum. Someone posted, why did they race swap Riri Williams? And I'm like,
she's black.
She's black from everything I remember.
I'm pretty sure Bendis wrote her for his daughters who were black.
I didn't even know he had black daughters. But anyways, that's why that's gonna flop. There's a lot of things going on why I think that's gonna flop. It's a really good story. The first episode I was like, but by the second and third one, I liked the heist. I liked very Ocean's 11, and I liked her AI from the comic and all that. But the hood,
Oh, the only race swap thing that
the hood is race swap because
he's just a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Slug, I guess, is a Marvel character.
Are those people all Marvel characters, or one of the twins is the most ugliest person I've ever saw. I feel bad saying that, but
Slug is Shea Coulee, who's a drag queen. So people thought it was going to be Darkveil or Shade, who's a drag queen X-Men character, which also has green hair. And they also mentioned that they're from Madripoor. So I'm like, okay, there's
they
some.
Do?
Yeah, when she said she came from, they said they came from Madripoor, being like a tech person.
I didn't expect Eric Andre. Eric Andre.
Oh yeah, I didn't either. I'm like, I was trying to think like, what else character could he have played? But can he play any other character in the MCU?
I don't think so.
Like a Joe character. What's that clown guy that's with Deadpool sometimes? Slapstick.
Yeah,
He could have played like that or something.
that's lame.
Or the
Madcap.
Great Lakes Avengers. There's some characters on that team.
Yeah, I don't think we need that. But anyway, so the whole end of Thunderbolts is Yelena walks into the darkness and is looking for Bob, and she keeps going back to when she had to, I think, kill someone as a kid and kill another kid. And that happens multiple times in the movie when he touches her. So she has to live through it again and again, and she finally sees Bob in a reflection, and Bob's just sitting on the ground, and they dye his hair blonde to be the Sentry, and he's like weird. It's just weird. He's like, I compromised with you, like let's compromise on other things. Like, I'm a god now, blah blah blah. That's the whole speech thing where he talks about the hair too, like I compromised. But when she finds him, he's in his brown hair and he's just sitting on the floor, and it's very Ready Player One, where at the end, I don't know if you remember Ready Player One, but at the end, the main guy, the Willy Wonka of it, his kid version of himself is sitting there on the floor playing video games. It very much felt like that, where he's just sitting there on the ground. He's just like, I'm letting everything happen. And so they make him, he starts like, he can't control what's going on, and things start flying everywhere, and they're hitting Yelena. Yelena's trying to protect him, and like things are breaking, and it was just so anticlimactic, and out of nowhere, all the team shows up. I don't know how they find the room, but they find it. They all went through their horrors, and they find it, and they're together, and they're like, how are we going to get out of here? And they're like, he's like, I don't know. It's just I basically project the evil darkness. And he does it through all New York. This is when they show he does it all through New York. So they keep going through different like rooms, and each room has like a different weird thing going on or whatever. And then finally he sees the Void, which kind of plays into the comic where he's separate with the Void in his mind, I guess you would say. And he's like, you're nobody, you're alone. And then they start fighting, and it's not an epic fight. It's just Bob gets on top of him and starts punching him, and he starts turning black himself. And it turns into like the Thunderbolts all grab him like you're not alone type of feeling. And it's anticlimactic. There's no big battle. There's no whatever. And
I
that's
saw a lot of people like have positive things about it because of mental health stuff.
yeah, I could see that. Um, I definitely could see that because it is Bob is messed up. He has horrible depression. They don't get into because in the comics he has a weird origin story, but then you end up finding out he's just a drug addict and was looking for a fix, and then he shoots himself up with a serum. In this one, they were trying to build somebody, and he's the only one that taped to the what's it called, to the serum or whatever it was. But yeah, and it basically ends like that. And the crazy part is, it's a badass ending though because they walk out, they see Valentina, and they're like, Red Guardian's like, I'm gonna hit her, like I'm just gonna hit her. And Winter Soldier's like, no, we're arresting her, and and she's like by a tent, and Winter Soldier's leading them, and they're all walking together, and he's like, can I just hit her a few times? And it's just kind of funny. And she's like, you guys, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. And she's like walking through the tent as she goes. And it's straight up Norman Osborn announcing the new Avengers. She walks out, trick them into following her. And there's a podium. And she's like, is this live? So right away, they can't do anything. She's like, in the darkest times, blah, 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 blah. I give you guys the new Avengers, and like they're all just like standing there, and everyone's clapped because everyone saw them save it, New York. Like Red Guardians, like catching kid or grabbing kids, and boulders are hitting them, and they're Winter Soldier's like blocking cars with his arm, and New York saw them fight, so it's crazy, and they're all like kind of standing there like a team, and then what's her face? Yelena said she's kind of over through the whole thing. Like, I'm over being this assassin. I want to be a face. Like, do something. So she kind of gets that because she's like a face. But she gets next to Valentina and whispers, I'm pretty sure she says, we own you now. And Bob starts like clapping for them because he doesn't get it. He doesn't really remember much, which I don't like that he doesn't remember. Like, he should know what he went through and all that. But after she says like we own you now, she like kind of like smiles, and the camera zooms in her face, kind of like she's her. Then we get the cut scene. One is just Red Guardian showing the Wheaties box with them all on it, and then the other scene's pretty cool because they're all now updated in like superhero suits. But like again, I don't like ghosts. I don't care for the character. I don't see this team is not an Avenger team. They're not strong enough to be an Avenger team. Again, they do have 3 super soldiers and the Sentry, but
I mean, they're basically Dark Avengers.
Kind of. They're not as strong, I feel. I wish Green Hulk was a Savage Hulk right now, because he would have been great in it. To be Thunderbolt Ross made this team to take out Hulk. They try to take out Hulk. They unleash Sentry. Epic Sentry Hulk battle. Give us the World War Hulk fight.
I'm surprised there wasn't more original Thunderbolt characters.
Yeah.
Like, why no Screaming Mimi? Why no what's his name?
Citizen V.
Yeah. He's already been in other movies, so
I just don't know what they're gonna do. And like, there was articles out that said the new Avengers are gonna clash with the new Avenger team in Doomsday or whatever. And I'm like, Shang-Chi by himself should probably be able to take all of them with the 10 rings if he has the 10 rings. He can. I mean, if it was
Bob is pretty.
Well, so at the end, they're all talking, and Bob's not there. Then you see Bob in a recliner eating chips or eating something, and they're like, "Well, we have Bob because that's when Red Guardian walks out with the Avengers like jumpsuit with the Z at the end of it, because Sam talked to Bucky. He said, and Bucky's like, he's not happy about this, and they trademark the Avengers or something. And
well, yeah, that was part of the deal with Captain America. Is the president wanted to make a new Avengers team,
right? So he comes out with the Z on it. He's like, "See, we could be Avengers," and everyone's like, "Whatever." But they're like, "But we have Bob," and then Bob's like, "I don't want to be Sentry, because if I'm Sentry, I got to worry about the other guy." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." And then that's basically it. And it's just them looking at a screen that shows Fantastic Car coming. So I'm just like, yeah, it was fun, but I don't like where they're going with it in the future. I don't like. Soon as they even said
it probably won't last long.
Soon as they said they're the new Avengers and they like ripped the thing and like the poster, and I'm like, the new Avengers. First of all, that comic is amazing when it's the actual new Avengers. If you want to go the route of the Dark Avengers is an absolute great story. Even how they use Sentry, how Norman Osborn uses him, and corrupts him. And like they kill his freaking wife. Bullseye goes and kills his wife and throws her in the ocean just to get her out of the picture. It's just dark, and like Venom, they feed him scrolls like to hunger, and then they give him pills to pop to be like calmer and be just in the black suit.
They probably don't want to use up all the stories if they plan on doing Dark Reign later.
Yeah. And then that's what people are saying, Sentry might be more important in the Doomsday movie or Secret Wars. Because he's gonna have to go back to being a Sentry at one point in the story. I just hope that, I don't know. Because then it's like is the Void gonna come? It's like, it's got to be when he turns red and black where the Void merges with him.
Are they gonna connect it to Noel?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Punisher just got cast in Spider-Man.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't remember if that was a rumor or if it. John Berthmo? What's his name?
Birth and blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, then, real quick, again, I don't know. I'd give it still a 6 out of 10. I would still recommend you watching it.
Well, I'm gonna watch it no matter what.
But real quick, I want to wrap up soon. How do you feel about Sinners? Because I haven't watched it yet. I've been debating on it because I like vampires, but I'm not big in horror movies. But I like Michael B. Jordan.
I wouldn't say it's horror. Trying to think of something. I think there was maybe one part that I jumped because I was on my phone and not paying attention. But
was it that good if you're on? Was it that good if you're on your phone?
Yeah, so I'm always on my phone.
Mm.
I want to say 10 out of 10, but I don't want to give something a 10.
Yeah, people are saying
it's pretty amazing.
And that's the Black Panther director, right?
Mm.
Did he do Wakanda Forever?
Mm.
It's weird because Wakanda Forever kind of dropped for me. It wasn't as good as I expected.
I don't think he was
Chadwick being gone. Maybe it was part of it.
Yeah, I don't think they were making it as like an action movie. It was more like a
tribute.
Yeah.
But far as Sinners, what's the plot of Sinners?
There's a boy whose dad is a preacher. The kid loves to play music, but that's frowned upon. And his cousins come.
Coco?
Huh?
Coco?
Coco.
They don't like him playing music in Coco.
Well, they explain it that music like tempts the devil or something like that. And then they tie it into some African and I think, is it Irish folk tales mixed with the vampires. So it's pretty cool. I don't really want to spoil things.
But vampires come, or are they already there?
There's a vampire that comes.
Only one?
At the beginning, yeah.
Well, that sounds captivating.
I don't want to spoil things.
I think, what is it, on digital right now?
It takes place during, I almost said prohibition. I mean, slavery's going on and stuff, so it's back then.
I like things like that because, as a person that likes to write, it's easier to tell a story when there's no cell phones and no plot points where you're like, but shouldn't they just do this or shouldn't they just do that?
Doesn't it help Madam Web though?
True. God, what a classic. Did you ever watch Craven?
No.
No, you should watch Craven. I think Craven...
Did you ever watch Morbius?
No, that's true. I think Craven would be okay if it was just called like Primal Man. Because he was all John Wick as an animal on people, but being Craven the Hunter from a Spider-Man comic was not it for me. And the Rhino should have been just some monster dude. But Jurassic Park Rebirth, speaking of monsters, that already had screenings so far. And I heard it's alright, but I don't know how many times we can see Jurassic Parks.
This one, from the last trailer, it seems like they're doing a lot of call-outs to the first movie. I saw sneaking through a house and seeing reflections of dinosaurs, like through little hallways.
They do add that was in the novel, the river scene. Remember in the video game that you're in?
Yeah, I played it like a week ago. It's awful.
Was it hard still?
Yeah.
When you're going down the river, that was in the raft. That was the raft. That was in the novel, and then they just showed on the newest trailer them. They already said they were going to add it, but they showed them in the raft and the T-Rex. I kept thinking about it when I was going to bed, and I was like, I need to not think about this. It's going to be a bad dream because it's just scary. The T-Rex just creeping in the water. It's just, yeah.
What else? Oh, I saw there's some kids doing some acrobatics in one of the trailers, and I was like, okay.
You seen that girl? She's like older now. Like she does like
does the flips.
Yeah, she does like cons now.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Hi, would you like autograph for $25?" I'm the girl that did all the acrobats and kicked a raptor.
That's always good.
Oh God, meeting what is it, young Boba Fett?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget that, dude. I think about when we went to WonderCon and there was so many people signing. I went crazy and I went and bought Ernie Hudson. I went and bought Darth Maul autograph. Paid for pictures.
Well, there wasn't that many people there.
Dude, you know who was there? Was Luke and Leia. They're doing a group one.
Were they?
Yeah, and it wasn't that expensive, but before...
I don't think we knew that.
No, I saw the line. It was huge. But I don't think we knew that they were going to do it. We just showed.
The only big line we went into was Jeff Loeb for Heroes.
Yeah.
And he ignored us to go on the phone to talk to one of the actors.
And did he sign anything for us?
Yeah, he was signing while on the phone. Like, I have Claire on the phone right now. Say hi. And he was like signing.
I remember talking to him at one of the, not WonderCon, at Comic Con.
Yeah, I think I remember you stopping him like around the Marvel booth. He was just walking.
No, that was Joss Whedon.
Was it Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
He stopped a few people.
Yeah, I did. I miss going to Comic Cons, but it's just too much now. even with my anxiety, like if it was gone, I don't know if I would pay for everything, the hotels, the how packed it is. I'm not gonna go until I'm on the other side of the booth. I'm not gonna go until my voice acting career kicks off. Me and my brother Jay keep talking about.
Like you didn't remember the what was that like '07? Rosario Dawson was she signing or was it?
She was walking around. She had a mask over her face, and she was. We were getting an autograph, and she like.
Was it Robert Downey Jr. that was sitting down autographing stuff, and then like she walked behind?
Yeah, and took off the mask.
But his line wasn't really that big either.
But it was only because you had to get a ticket somehow, like Stanley.
Mm.
And we couldn't, so we just stood back.
Well, you got a Stanley ticket at a raffle, didn't you?
Yeah, Crystal pulled the ticket. I used to have it in one of my wallets. Now I don't have the ticket anymore. Still got the poster though. Yeah, I don't want to do WonderCon or WonderCon's in Anaheim now, which is stupid. It was great being in San Francisco, but they decided to make it bigger. But I don't want to do it unless I'm on the other side of the table. If I wish I was an artist, something where I charge you $20 for a picture. I don't want to go walk around and
buy stuff.
Lilu, Boo Boo, whatever. Labubu's, buying those and seeing a million pops. And it was just, back then, we went during the renaissance of the best time was our first time. We went, Batman Begins was coming out, Iron Man was coming out.
Twilight.
I was able to get out of Hall H, go buy a drink and nachos, come back in, and then get in line to ask a question to Tony or to Robert Downey Jr. That's nuts to me now compared to what it was or what it is now. Now you can't do shit. Now I don't think they even take questions anymore.
No.
I think if they do, it's from the press. I'm not 100%, but if they do, it's probably very limited because we've watched the press conferences and I never see them go, let's take some questions. It ends. It's just like, thank you.
I think they just have it so tight.
Yeah.
They have to keep going. Marvel's not even there this year.
Really?
I mean, what besides Fantastic Four? Would they'd have to show Secret Wars stuff or do more or
Spider-Man? There was rumor that Sadie Sink is going to be Gwen Stacy, and Gwen Stacy's going to be Spider-Gwen.
I've seen that too.
If that is, I want to vomit because they said that Zendaya wants to push away from them being a couple in movies. It's like,
oh, it's the curse.
She just doesn't want that vibe. But for me, it's like, what's the whole point? Like, he sees Zendaya like kissing someone else.
That and
he moves along.
Ghost Spider-Gwen is more of a Miles Morales character.
Yeah.
Love interest. They cast that Hispanic lady. I don't know her name, but people think she might be Miles' mom.
For Spider-Man?
Uh-huh. But with Punisher in the movie, I'm hoping it goes more street. I want it to be street. I want it to be Hammerhead and Tombstone and like Cloak and Dagger.
Have you seen that black guy that's an albino? He's hella like mobster like in like a show he's in. And I think he's actually like that. He kind of looks like Brandon in a way, but dude, he would be a good albino black dude, Tombstone. Because I don't like Tombstone in the Spider-Man show, the cartoon.
Yeah. Like,
I don't mind it because it's a different world, but to me, that's not Tombstone. It doesn't Tombstone have powers? I always thought he was like
I feel like he's like
unbreakable, like Luke Cage, I thought.
I don't know, I just want Spider-Man to build up a new team friend group, like New Warriors, like give me Cloak and Dagger, give me Firestar, Nova,
Iceman and Firestar. That's all we need.
And Bobby can stay in the X movie cooling Wolverine strings. We don't need
Such
that.
a bad scene.
I rewatched X2 last week.
I don't get the praise with that. I want to wrap up, but I don't get the praise with X2.
It's just a
people.
enjoyable
Spider-Man
movie.
2 and X2. People always go amazing. It's one of the top movies ever. Both of those, and to me, they age decently. But I like a lot of other MCU movies way more than it.
I think X2 just has a lot of like Easter eggs and
Like Stryker to me was a boring villain. To me, people probably would hate me for saying that, but like
I don't care for
Wolverine, I'm coming at you, and I know your past, and it's just like, I'm like, can you just fight fucking Sabretooth for crying out loud? Oh, that's what I was gonna say real quick. I talked to Jeff Loeb about the Simone and him, their run where it was all about the feral mutants, and Sabretooth got cloned a million times, and they kept sending.
I can remember the art in my head.
I got a bunch of their comics signed, a ton of the comics signed by them, and then I got my trade signed. Best trade I probably got signed was Spider-Man Blue by Tim Sale and him, because I really like Tim Sale's art.
Rest in peace.
Did Tim Sale die?
Yeah.
Peter David died.
Yeah, that was like a few weeks ago.
Tim Sale?
Peter David.
Yeah, Peter David I saw.
Tim Sale died, I think, last year.
Jesus. Sucks. Peter David, like, I talked to him for a second. I cut the line to talk to him for a second. Like, I went on the side, because there's a book I have. I don't think it's on my shelf. But it's like, maybe it is by Venom Circle. Right by Dr. Aphra. It might be that yellow book. But it's like how to write comics.
Mm.
And it's really, really good. It's really good read. And I talked to him about how good of a read it was. And he's like, yeah, I tell everybody all the time, if you're into comics, you should take a read into it, blah, blah, blah. And then I regretted I didn't get online. But I didn't have Peter David shit. Because back then, like, it was like X Factor. He wrote the old Hulk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of good stuff. It sucks. His health was bad for a while. And he kept doing GoFundMes. And people were really pissed off that Marvel didn't take care of him. And it's pretty true.
Yeah, they don't offer health insurance.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But anyways, on that note, we'll wrap up. Like I said, we have a few things we got to talk about.
I made a list. There's, you probably don't care, but there's Switch 2 that just released. Marvel Tokon got announced 2 weeks ago. What's the deal? Where's Marvel vs. Capcom? Is that over?
Well, if you show up more, we could do more podcasts.
Marvel Rivals.
This is why I used to like when we did it weekly, because whenever things hit, they hit, and then we just talked about it.
Watched The Last of Us Season 2. You probably haven't watched that. You probably didn't watch the first season.
Nope.
I'm going next month to the Super Nintendo store in San Francisco.
For what?
What?
Just to hang out.
Well, I'm going to see a concert.
But you're going to go to the store as well.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Oh.
There's the Street Fighter cast.
That I'm gonna wait on. I was gonna talk about that today, but I'm like, I want to wait till we get some official casting. Because if Roman Reigns is playing Akuma, I'm gonna vomit. Like I'm gonna.
What if? Are you okay if Jason Momoa is playing?
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I think Jason Momoa is a cool dude. I think he's a decent actor.
And then King of the Hill season 7 reboot.
I have no idea, but I've never watched King of the Hill.
King of the Hill is amazing.
Is it?
I just wondered who the person that plays Boomhauer. He died.
And the Indian dude that
he got murdered.
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy's dead. So there's a lot of people that they got to make up for.
Well, keep your list, and then because none of that's gonna get old. All the video game stuff's not gonna get old. We're gonna stay relevant with that because I play Rivals every weekend at least with my friends.
Pure chaos. I have to add you.
Are you
I don't
are you
ever
any
play.
good?
I don't ever play, but I watch it enough that I think I'd be okay.
It's a very hard game to play though. You run out and you die immediately.
I mostly play. Well, the few times I played, I picked Black Panther,
Logan's hella good at Black Panther.
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger is a great healer.
I mean, Wanda's overpowered, but I'd probably play
I
her.
don't think Wanda. Yeah, her little thing that drains you is pretty stupid because you're like trying to like get away from it and you run into a wall and you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna die. But whatever. We'll get into all that next time. As Declan would say, that's a podcast. See you guys later. Bye. I just care about, I don't want this to turn off. Yeah, Scarlet Witch kind of.
500
Chaos! I'm glad I got that on video.
Pure chaos.